Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you are watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, we have had mass action in this country, and we all know what happened. Above all, Raila Odinga has announced that mass action is going to continue. Ruto got angry and came out to react on this. And he made a very strong statement with a kind of intimidation that he will not allow mass action to continue in this country. Ruto went to an extent of quoting a figure in terms of the number of people who have lost their lives. Number one, he said in the beginning it was 7, and as of late it is 8. You put together, that means it is 15 people who have lost their lives. When Raila Odinga heard this, Raila came back, and now he made new updates. He's saying now we will have mass action on Wednesday, there will be mass action on Thursday, and there will be mass action on Friday. So he's putting 3 days in a week, and it is going to continue like that until when something is going to happen as far as the issue of finance bill is concerned, IBC and SAVA. So there is a war here. But then one question we ask ourselves, between Raila Odinga and William Ruto, who is respecting the law? First of all, I wanted to listen to William Ruto when he's against the mass action. Then we'll go to the video when he was supporting mass action.
Uliona juzi walifanya maandamano Ijumaa iliyopita, ile ingine watu 7 wakakufa. Wamefanya maandamano juzi, watu 8 wakakufa. Mimi nataka niwaulize, mnataka tuendelee na hii maandamano? Mnataka tuendelee na hii maandamano? Mimi nataka niwaambie, maandamano haiwezi tena kufanyika katika hii taifa letu la Kenya. Hiyo wanasema Wednesday, hiyo wanasema sijui lini. Hiyo maandamano haiwezekani.
When Ruto is issuing this statement, he is actually the president. So he's the man in power. But then I want to take you to another clip when Ruto was not in power. He did not have any power. But that time around, Ruto was advocating for mass action. He was defending protesters. And he was putting a blame on the government in terms of those who have lost their lives and the manner in which they have lost their lives. Listen to him, then you do a comparison between what he's saying now and what he said. Then from there we can understand what is our position as Kenyans going forward. And you also have to know, why are Kenyans on the street demonstrating? Listen to William from Ruto.
They are not the people who killed. These are the people who had demonstrations. They had demonstrations in the streets. They were arrested by the police. For your information, of the 1,300 people killed, 70% of those people were killed by the police.
40%. So here.
Not 40%. You go look at the report. Bullet wounds. You know, these were killed by the police. So when you close down a country, when you bring in security laws in a country, in a situation where the tensions were high, how many people were shot in Kibera? You know, the bodies were all over the place. How many people were shot all over?
The question here is this. You are actually on record and repeating that you call on the release of all the people who had been arrested over the violence. Without evidence whether they were actually just demonstrators or they had actually participated in crime, in torching people's houses and killing people. Is that justifiable?
It is justifiable to this extent that the people who are arrested, right, unless the police prove, because we told them, you cannot arrest people who are demonstrating. If you have proof that so-and-so killed, like what they have done now, they have arraigned some people on evidence, hard evidence.
But at that point, how would the police prove? If they were arresting them, you had no evidence that they had no evidence against those people in the first place, but you are calling for their release. Completely disregarding the victims in this particular case of those crimes.
We live in Kenya, Makali. If you round up 1,000, 2,000 people in the street, in Eldoret or in Kisumu, you know, how would you say these people are responsible for torching that place or the other place? And for your information,
okay, but then how do you explain those who had actually committed crimes? What about the crimes which had been committed?
Those
killings,
who had
property destruction, theft?
Those
how did you
those
deal
who
with
had
that?
committed crimes, the police needed hard evidence. When we told the police to release, if they had hard evidence, they would then say, we cannot release Makari because we have evidence against him. We cannot release so.
Now, after listening to the two clips, I think we are seeing two different statements from the same individual. So it tells you, when someone is in power and the power has entered into his head, how they reason. Ruto is saying that he will not allow demonstrations. It tells you this, a man who power has entered into his head. To an extent, he believed that he is above the law. Who told William Ruto that he has powers to stop mass action? By force. Ruto does not have power to stop mass action. The Constitution has never given a president or whoever is in power the power to stop people from picketing. Mass action is protected in the Constitution. So when he said that sitakubali maandamano, hutakubali kama nani? Kama nani? Hakuna nguvu zimepewa rais kusimamisha maandamano. Now, in the first video is saying that 7 people and 8 people have lost their lives. In the second video, he's talking about 70% of Kenyans who lost their lives through a bullet. He should come and tell Kenyans, those who lost their lives, in the figure, on the figures that is quoting, 7 and 8, were they killed by stones or by bullet? And if it was by bullet, who killed them? Is it the police officers who are taking orders from the government side, or who? Ni Azimio ndio waliua hao watu. Hao watu waliuawa kwa risasi ama waliuawa na njia gani? The document is showing that all the people who have died, they have died from the bullet. This gun bullet that has killed them. So, we are seeing a man who is not in power supporting mass action. And once he's in power, he's against mass action. So Kenyans have to draw the line and understand the person who is addressing them. No wonder even when he's speaking, there's no one in agreement with him, apart from the chiefs and the county commissioners who are in agreement with him. But not common mwananchi. We saw you supporting maandamano in 2007. In fact, by that time, the dispute was all about stolen election. This time around, it is a little bit different. People are on the street because, number one, cost of living, you are increasing. They are saying, no, we will not allow you to do that. So people are hungry. Number two, it is all about IBC. Number three, servers. Wewe umeharibu kazi za watu, hawana kazi tena, umekuja umeongeza bei ya ushuru kwa chakula. People are saying no. So imagine even the problem we are facing against Kenyans is huge compared to that one of 2007. So the issue of threat, it is not going to work for you. We are going to remember what you said when you are not in power, and what we are saying when you are in power. We compare the two, and we will draw a line and understand which way to go. And indeed, we support what you said in 2007. People have a right to demonstrate and show their disagreement to the authorities. Now you are in authority. If you don't want mass action, we talk to Kenya uende. Hawatakuwa na demonstrate because of you. Toka tu Kenya uende kwingine. Ama kama utaki maandamano, vunjilia mbali hiyo finance bill, anza fresh. Instead of 15%, you bring it to, instead of 16%, you bring it to 8%. You will stop mass action. If you don't want mass action, you can resign from power. There's so many ways you can do this. Or if you don't want to see mass action, resign, remove your finance bill, or leave Kenya. When you go nje kwanza, rudi miaka ingine. That's the only way to sort this one out. Because you can't be speaking on the same mouth with different statements. If in 2007, mass action was good for you, why in 2023, mass action is not good for you? Yani mkuki kwa nguruwe ni sawa tu kwa binadamu uchungu. That time you were demonstrating against Kibaki government. Today, when Kenyans are demonstrating against your government, you come and say something different. So, Ruto does not have power to stop demonstration, but he has a way to stop it by doing exactly what Kenyans have said, not by force. Actually, he has a way to stop this one. Just do what Kenyans are telling to do. Go and remove 16%, go and open server, and IEBC should be involved by both sides, the Kenya Kwanza and the Azimio side. These are the only two coalitions we have. Hata Wajakoya amejoin Azimio coalition. Mwaura ako kwa Kenya Kwanza coalition. So we only have two coalitions. Involve everyone. Azimio waleta watu wao kama ni 5, 4. Na wewe pia waleta wako kama ni 3, 4. Alafu IBC kwe iko consulted. Simple. So we are asking William Samoei Ruto to come out and protect protesters, to come out and support mass action, because he don't want to do what Kenyans are telling him. He must come out and support mass action the same way he did in 2007. He must come out and support it. Ameambia Mwikali very clear, 70% of the people who died from bullet wounds, killed by police. Today we know everyone who has died. In fact, that one, kwa ile ingine wanasema 70, na maanisha 30 walikuwa uawa na wananchi. Yani those were the civilians. Lakini hii ya saa hizi wote wamekufa. Wamekufa kwa risasi ya polisi, risasi ya serikali. So we want Ruto to repeat what he said in 2007 today. Then we will see him as a truthful person. As long as he's speaking a different language, we will know that he is just lying to Kenyans, and there is no shortcut for William Samoei Ruto. The only shortcut is only by solving the problem. The threat, intimidation, and the drama will not work. Name calling, framing anyone, it is not going to work for him. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is going to be mass action until something will happen.